Yep, his usual spot. What two viewings? I'm watching Grammy's views. Caught up on my Mary Trump and the fellow that built a home in the mountains, and Laura Kamp, who was redoing a house in Germany. A lot of different things. I like lots of different things, and I've been watching Midwest cleaning. That guy is hysterical. He comments through his videos, and he introduces himself as someone different each time. Hi, my name is Loose Toenail, or whatever. He's funny. His humor is Midwest, that's for sure, and he just is funny as heck. I have been tired as heck. Got up this morning and I had breakfast. And don't even ask what I had, because I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Oh, I know. I had some little cream puffs and coffee. I had a nice big old cup of coffee, which put me right to sleep. I fell asleep in the chair, I got up, and went over to the bed and fell asleep for 2 hours. It's almost like some kind of sickness. Of course, I have this cold with sinus drainage. I made a mixture of salt water with a little bit of baking soda in it, stirred it all up, boiled it in a microwave, let it cool. I'll be doing a neti pot with that, where you put it in this little teapot-looking thing, and you stick the spout up your nose, and you lean forward, and it goes up and out your other nostril. And it basically clears out your sinuses in there. I have to do that later. Tomorrow I watch Baby, and I don't want to be coughing in front of him. I'm much better than I was. Basically, it's when I lie down or something, the different position you've got. All the stuff in your head gets used to being in one spot, and then you lay down and it goes, I know it's gross. I'm sorry. Today is a day where many women all across the nation marched for Kamala Harris. I did not join in the march because I didn't wake up in time. And it's a bit breezy here. The wind sounded like some kind of scary movie. It was so breezy, And I don't know. I've just been... I don't know. My Tuesday, I had to be a nervous wreck. I had my chicken soup I had. Maybe that helped too. Kitty Cat had a piece of cheese with me. He's happy. I'm hungry. I'm going to have a chicken and apple sausage for supper, and I'll wrap it in a tortilla. Put a little bit of mustard on the tortilla. I slit down the sausage, put it in the microwave, and it kind of opens, so I put the edge of the tortilla in there and roll it up. That way we've got something you can gnaw on. Really good. Really, really good. These I got at Trader Joe's. You can get Annie's brand. Is it Annie's? At the regular grocery store, but these are from Trader Joe's, and they're apple and chicken sausage with a little Chardonnay in there or something. Good. Really good. I have some chicken salad to have tomorrow when I watch the baby, because when he eats his salads, I have something to eat as well. What I wanted to tell you in this vlog, this video, is I finally stopped by one of those stands selling Trump regalia. Flags and hats and t-shirts and things like that. I didn't film it because I didn't think they would talk to me if I had a camera out. There was this Hispanic guy running the stand, basically. I mean, you could tell by looking at him he was Hispanic, but he was mixed. So he wasn't a sombrero-looking guy. And I know that sounds ethnicist or racist or whatever, but I'm just telling you so you can understand. He was running the booth, and I said, oh, how much are his stuff? The hats and t-shirts and flags are all $35 a piece. That's more than the Harris people charge for their stuff. Gadzooks. Anyway, I said, I'm not going to, I'm going to ask you some questions and they're not political. Is that okay? And he says, well, okay. So I asked him, what makes life worth living? And then he says, oh, I don't know, sometimes I don't want to live. And I'm like, okay, I asked it the wrong way. I said, what makes you happy? And it boils down to family and friends. And, simplicity, okay? This is what this guy said. And I found out also that he saw an ad on Craigslist to run this stand. So it wasn't his stand, but he was getting paid. And he said, well, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't for Trump. And I'm thinking, yeah, you would have. I think you would have. But while I was standing there, this good old boy, big old belly hanging out and big old nose and everything. I don't know what he looked like. I couldn't tell his ethnicity. I thought he was part German or something, like a beer barrel German. Some Germans have like a big chest and a big beer gut. Like, that's their body build. That's just the way it is. He's told me there was some Spanish in there, maybe some Italian. He didn't know because he never went through his ancestry. He doesn't know anything about his past. Not a thing. And I'm not doing one of them where you send your DNA and they're not going to get me that way. No, they're not going to get... I'm thinking, oh my God, okay, fine. So it's a shame you don't know, I know my background and, any traditions or whatever that we have. And then I said, I have a question that's non-political. And he's, okay. And I said, well, what makes you happy? What makes your life good? And he told me family and friends. Simple life, same as the other guy did. And he goes on saying that he got into the Christian aspect of everything. He got in saying that the Democrats, and anytime he mentioned Democrat, he had this sour look on his face and he had this attitude. He says, they believe this, that, and the other thing. We believe this, that, and the other thing, except we blame it on them and they blame it on us. So it's like a mirror image. And I thought, oh, okay. And then he said something about Leviticus something, and he couldn't remember what it was. Something in Leviticus from the Old Testament. And I said, do you think women should be submissive? So he starts getting into this Bible stuff. And how Christianity is not peaceful. It's Jesus made himself a whip and went through the temple and turned tables over. And he was whipping everybody and beating them. He goes, most people don't remember that part. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to take a look because I do have a Bible. I'm going to have to take a look sometime of these various things that he was telling me. And he was just going on and on about this Christian stuff. And my God is not their God. And I'm thinking, yes. If you have the most driving force of a God or whatever, it's the same as other people's driving force, God. You call it different. Maybe you see them working in a different fashion towards mankind. Then we were talking about Nephilims and angels, because I asked him if he believed in aliens. And both of them emphatically said, yes, which I didn't expect. Okay? They're talking about angels with all the eyes, and one is shaped like a gyroscope, and one is this, and one is that, and how horrible and frightening, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to open up the Bible and look for myself. But this guy had such strong views, and the earthquakes that have been happening in the Canary Islands last year, which is off the coast of Africa, somewhere over near Madagascar, those were systematically set earthquakes, and the Democrats are doing it. And the earthquakes, they're lined up here, here, and here, and here. I'm thinking that's on a fault line, you moron. But I didn't say anything. I just nodded my head and listened to what he had to say because I'm fair about it, you know. I have my own opinions. I kept them to myself. But he said that the Democrats are causing that. And the Democrats are causing the weather issues. And the Democrats are causing all the bad things that are happening. And then he mentioned something else, which basically has to do with the CEOs of these big whale companies and all that are greedy. And I said, isn't that the CEOs of these companies and their greed and everything? Oh, no, that's the Democrats. So I asked him, where do you get your information? He named a couple websites or something. One is, oh crap, I don't remember where I put the piece of paper. There were two different main sources that he mentioned. And then the Hispanic guy says, well, what about Q? Oh, yeah, that's an old site. I don't know if it is up anymore, but there's one called Q. The Mexican guy said, QAnon, and he says, no, it's called Q. The Anon stands for, I said, anonymous? And he goes, yeah. But this guy was really drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, and he goes, well, I don't know too much. I really don't read much or anything. And I had trouble in school. My mom used to beat me, and they put me in the dumb class. And I said, are you dyslexic? Because my brother was dyslexic, which hindered him from reading and learning. Nope. This guy's just dumb. And he was proud of being dumb. He was proud of it. And I said, do you like to follow? Oh, yeah, I'm in with the group. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I got my ear full. And the Mexican guy, he walked off. And the man says to the Hispanic guy, said to me, well, you asked the right guy, didn't you? Yes, I did. I only wish I had it on tape. Had I figured out how to use those glasses that films, but he probably would have seen that and clammed up. But the Hispanic guy kind of figured out what I was up to, trying to find out, pick their brains for information, basically. The other guy, he was just an open book. At first he said he wasn't going to say anything, and then boom, something triggered him and opened the gates, and out came all that information. Basically, what I wanted to say is it's very interesting and strange and frustrating that some people can be so adamant and not have sources, but throw information around as though they knew. I'm going to have to check out the sites. If I find the piece of paper, I will let y'all know what sites those were where he gets his information. I've heard that from other Republican-minded, Trump-minded people, that there's a couple of websites where they get their information, period. And that all news media is corrupt by the Democrats. All of it. Even Fox. And that he doesn't trust anybody. I said, what about like Walter Cronkite in the 60s? Even Walter Cronkite. I said, I went to broadcasting school. How you get your news is when it happens, the police reports and things come in on teletype machines. The newscaster grabs that copy, looks at it, and puts it in a form that he can tell people on the television or the radio. Because it'll come out with statistics and incomplete sentences. And to tell people, you have to have complete sentences. So I know that it's accurate. But this guy thinks it's all influenced and evilly put. Now that's my thing for today. Tomorrow I watch Baby, and Tuesday is election day. So I figured out how to put the things in the computer, but I have to put them in a different area and fetch them and move them around. And when I go to make the film, I have to do several steps. It's gotten more complicated, and it's really irritating. And I put something up on Facebook, and Facebook took it down because I showed a picture of a Trump T-shirt, and they didn't like what I said about something, and I didn't really say anything. It's become more and more Christian-like, because all of a sudden I've got all these Christian commercials on Facebook and ads and stuff, and less for my friends. And it's like, this is terrible. What if I was Jewish? What if I was Muslim? I've known any imam who was like a pastor in the Muslim faith. Nicest guy you could want to meet. He said he was open to answer any question. So not everybody that you're not familiar with is evil. It's a shame. It's a real shame. If you're going to argue a point, know your stuff. Enough, okay? This is Sunday. I'm tired still. I'm going to force feed myself another apple sausage. Chicken apple sausage. It sounds disgusting, but it's really good. Catch you later. Upward and onward.